SOFLO Antonio and H3H3 Productions are at it again with SOFLO Antonio repurposing original creator content on Facebook and H3H3 Productions fighting against it. But what is the interesting part of this issue that no one is talking about and it affects all of you? Let's find out. Boop-boop-ba-doop. A lot of people are talking about SOFLO Antonio and what's going on between him and H3H3 Productions. I asked you on Twitter what part of the story you wanted me to cover and you said top to bottom. Who are they and why do they matter? So we will start out with a brief recap of the situation and then dive into a very interesting part involving Facebook and Facebook likes that this situation uncovered that will affect you. SOFLO has an entertainer page on Facebook where he often posts repurposed content for everyone's entertainment, otherwise known by many people as freebooting, where he takes an original YouTube video or Vine, adds something mildly transformative to it, like I can't stop laughing, as you can see here with an example from The Gabby Show, and then blatantly just lifts the content.
Okay, happy campers, if you were an animal, what would you be?
I'd be a black sheep.
As you can see, the focus is totally on the Gabby Show's content and not on SOFLO himself. And you can also see that this has 2.5 million views. Now, SOFLO has said that he licenses this content in certain cases, but I have yet to see proof of that. So SOFLO, if you have the proof, please feel free to send it my way. Now, H3H3 Productions, a reaction channel on YouTube, has spoken out against SOFLO and just 3 days ago posted a video about a Facebook rant involving SOFLO and how he lifts content. SOFLO Antonio, known on YouTube as just Antonio, responded trying to expose H3H3, and then H3H3 responded again. Now, H3H3 did a rather hilarious job of recapping this himself, so I will point you to the link to the video on his channel in the description below. But what I find most interesting is something that H3H3 said in his original rant on this topic. Let's take a look at how he explains the situation.
Now, I was browsing Facebook a couple nights ago, and I went to check on our parody page, SOFLO Bro, that we made about SOFLO Antonio's Facebook escapades, and sure enough, wouldn't you know, it was gone. My favorite part about that process was that we didn't get any notification, any message, any even an option to appeal. It was just straight up gone. 88,000 likes on it. But I noticed a day afterwards browsing Facebook that SOFLO, the actual SOFLO, not our parody page, was showing up on my feed. And I says to myself, that is bizarre because I certainly have never liked SOFLO's page. I have more respect for my own life. I'm 30 years old. I'm too young to die of cancer. So I go to Hila's page. And wouldn't you know, she liked it too. Weird. I go to the subreddit, our H3H3 subreddit. I see a post. Hey, did anybody happen to like SOFLO's page all of a sudden, but they know they didn't like it before? Weirder and weirder. And now here you can see it is not just a conspiracy theory. 850 likes. If you have previously liked SOFLO Bro on Facebook, the page has been taken down. You will also now have automatically liked the real SOFLO page. This is not a conspiracy. They actually closed down our parody page of people who hated SOFLO and moved all of the likes to SOFLO.
Now, I included that so you could get a recap of the situation directly from H3H3 and focus on the extremely interesting point that Facebook is controlling likes. Now, I find it fascinating that in a case where people liked a parody account of SOFLO Antonio, so these are people who generally do not like SOFLO Antonio, their likes were reallocated to SOFLO Antonio without their consent and without notification. Now, considering that likes on a page are public, you would think that if Facebook was going to do something this brazen, where now they're making you like a page without your consent that you might not approve of, because SOFLO often posts questionable content that you might not want to be associated with, you would think that Facebook would have to give you permission for that. Or that maybe they would have snuck something sneaky into their terms of service, allowing them to have permission to do that. But I took a good look through their terms of service and I came up with nothing. In fact, the one thing I found in Facebook's terms that was particularly interesting is where Facebook said, we do not control or direct users' actions on Facebook, yet they are controlling the user's action of liking a page. Now, I know it's easy to say, oh, this must must all be speculation. Facebook wouldn't really reallocate likes without telling people, would they? Maybe this is just a coincidence. But it's not. I found legal proof that they have done this. In fact, there's a whole court case surrounding it. Now, being a creator myself and being familiar with how these sorts of situations work on Facebook, I figured that SOFLO probably pursued the route of going after this parody account as impersonation. And here's what I found when I started digging. In the case Maddox versus BET, yes, this is the BET that is a household name, Black Entertainment Television. Maddox had run an initially unofficial Facebook page for Black Entertainment Television, and BET ended up hiring her to do their social media, and it turned her unofficial Facebook page into an official one representing the brand. Now, after Maddox was hired by the company, the court says BET agreed not to exclude Maddox from the page, and similarly, Maddox granted BET administrative access to the page. In the course of their discussions, Maddox restricted BET's access to the page. BET in turn created a new page for the TV series and asked Facebook to migrate the fans from the existing page to the new page. And this is where things get interesting. BET in turn created a new page for the TV series and asked Facebook to migrate the fans from the existing page to the new page. BET also terminated the letter agreement. Facebook reviewed the original page, determined it appeared to officially represent the brand owner, and on this basis, granted BET's request. To add insult to injury, Facebook also shut down the original page. At BET's request, Twitter also shut down the account Maddox used to promote the series. So even if users never gave consent to like BET's Facebook page, their likes were reallocated without them even knowing and without them receiving notice. The same exact thing that just happened to H3H3 Productions.
But the fact that they moved all the likes to SOFLO's real page without telling anybody, without notifying us, it just shows, how committed Facebook is to really combating the copyright problem.
Even more surprising, the court backed this decision, saying that Maddox had no property interest in likes. If you listen really closely, you can hear social media entertainers all over the world crying on the inside right now. We all like to think of social media platforms as being unbiased, as hosting creators and people from all over the world and not playing favorites to one or the other. And as we saw just 1 week ago, as the hashtag RIP Twitter was trending because Twitter wanted to implement algorithms that would favorite certain types of tweets over other types of tweets, the internet does not react kindly to having our information filtered for us. So what does this mean in the case where a platform like Facebook is willing to publicly play favorites, but then, taking it a step further, actually try to slip it under the radar so that its users don't notice? Would you be happy if you found out that you were looking through your likes one day and found pages in there that you had never liked at all, and that those pages were publicly reflected so that future employers and all your friends could see them? In all of the conflict that occurs between creators on social media, it is always interesting to pick up the tidbits of information that are dropped and follow the breadcrumbs to see what the bigger implications are. If you found this insightful, please share it with a friend and let me know in the comments below, what do you think about how Facebook got involved in this situation? And if you have thoughts on the greater SOFLO Antonio versus H3 Productions conflict, please feel free to share those as well. These comments are not moderated and it is a purely open forum for discussion. I'll see you down there. You should watch this video too right now. Grade A Under A has decided to go after the reaction community and in particular